Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this episode, I'm going to be breaking down the most common question that I'm asked. Do you have to fight inside of prison? I'm going to be going over a couple of different things when I speak on this. But to sum it up, no, you don't. You don't have to fight, and I know people that never got into a fight. But there is a 99% chance if you never get into a fight, it is because you were willing to accept things that other people weren't. Will you be disrespected? Will you have somebody try you? Will a booty bandit run down on you? It might not be as serious as that, but you will be disrespected. You will be tried at some point in time. There will be something that happens that inside of your stomach, in the pit of your stomach, in the back of your mind, when it happens, it's going to catch you off guard. You might not be sure how to approach it. But if you don't say anything or do anything, you're going to wish you approached it. Especially when somebody in your circle comes up to you and says something about it. Hey, bro, how come he bumped into you and you didn't say, like, hey, you can't say excuse me or something? Like, how come you was just quiet about it? Oh, well, you know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Things like that, they make an impression. These impressions can have a lasting effect on your prison bid. But that's well known. Everything is about respect. People want to try people to see who is violent. But it doesn't just end there. When you're figuring out how much you're willing to take, if you're willing to just break it off and be extorted the second you get inside of a prison, and you know physically you're not going to be able to do nothing, you may have an easy ride physically. Mentally, you're going to be bullied and disrespected on a daily basis. Extortion doesn't mean people aren't going to treat you like a bitch. Extortion doesn't mean if your mom didn't send money because she just didn't get a good check, you're not going to get slapped the fuck up by whoever's extorting you, even though it wasn't your fault. Extortion doesn't mean a sexual predator won't want to extort you for something other than food. So at that point, are you willing to fight for your manhood? If you're not, you may be turned out. And this happens to people inside of prison that aren't willing to become physically violent. They become physical in other ways. But the danger itself in not fighting and not standing up for yourself can be more dangerous than the actual fight. And what I mean by that, you have people in prison, especially in the youth offender prisons, that are just preying on people. They want to show how tough and how savage they are. They want other people to see it. If they know that they can make an example out of you and other people are going to watch what they do, they might start something. They might bump into you and say you bumped into them, and now they're calling you out. Hey, bruh, say excuse me, bruh. And you're caught off guard because you didn't even do anything, but you know what I'm saying? You're a pacifist, whatever. You're just a peaceful person. You don't want no problems. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have these pride issues or insecurities. So you're like, oh, my bad, excuse me. Nah, fuck that. Tighten up. You throw it off again because, you apologize. You thought you did what was right. Now this person doesn't want to hear it. Now you're getting hit in your face. Now your adrenaline is starting to kick in. What are you going to do? Are you going to start throwing them hands back? Or are you just going to accept what happens? And this person is going to take full advantage. They're probably going to keep attacking. And you're so caught off guard by everything that's going on, you may not even fight back just because you don't know what the fuck is happening. This may be your first physical altercation. This may be a gang member and you don't want to swing back because you don't know what else can happen. So you ball up. You take the little ass whooping, whatever, right? He gets his little respect. He thinks he's cool. He's badass. Other people are viewing him, seeing that he'll put hands on somebody. Whatever. That doesn't mean that this isn't going to stop. Somebody else might run down on you after seeing what just happened and try to extort you because of that, because they saw that you didn't fight back. But the most dangerous thing that can happen when it comes to the weapons inside of prison, when it comes to the slashings, the stabbings, the locks and socks, the TOHs, the broomsticks going inside of people, poking somebody up, having a lighter and lighting somebody's genitals on fire, the crazy things that can happen inside of prison, inside of these just sinister TOHs, they don't just happen. They don't just pop off. People build up to shit like this. You have to desensitize your mind, and that is one of the biggest culture shocks of prison. It's people that come from peaceful communities being mixed in with people that come from violent, poor communities. Where they've already seen extreme violence growing up, they're not new to it. So somebody that doesn't come from that background, you have to get used to it. And even for the street kids that came from that background, prison is different violence. It's different holding a gun than holding a knife or a poker or a razor. It's a different feeling. It's much more close up. It's much more personal. What I've seen, and the only way I can relate these two things, is serial killers. They don't just start killing people in most cases. They start off small. They start off with animals and things that are defenseless. Whatever gruesome, nasty things that they do to these defenseless beings, it is slowly desensitizing them to the violence, to the blood, to the smell, the gore. The act in which they're doing, they become comfortable with it. And it may even excite them, give them an adrenaline rush that makes them want to do it even more. And eventually, they graduate to a bigger level where now he starts attacking women. Where, yeah, they can fight back, but he may be able to overpower them. Once he's mastered that, he starts attacking men. However it goes, whatever it transpires into. In prison, people that are not willing to fight back, it can go so much further. Because you're dealing with people that are trying to mentally callous themselves. They are trying to build a wall brick by brick where their emotions are no longer inside of their mind. Where they're becoming cold-hearted killers without actually killing. And that was some of the hardest things witnessing inside of prison, is watching somebody in an open bay dorm be stomped relentlessly. Having someone jump off the top bunk onto their head. Seeing them seizing, seeing the blood coming out of their mouth, coming out of their nose. Seeing somebody get poked up, the tightening of their face and muscles and everything. You can see the pain. Some of them would cry. Some of them would break down crying. Some of them would start screaming for their parents. But the person that's doing it is doing it because he knows you're defenseless. He knows you're easy. And he's doing this, poking you up, cutting you. He's doing this because he's trying to desensitize himself so that when war comes, when he goes at it with somebody that's on the level that he is on or the level that he feels he needs to be on, he knows that he's prepared to handle that war. He's going to take this out on you, being defenseless, before he graduates to beefing with people that are on that cold-hearted level. And in the process of what he is trying to do, it can cause you to lose your life. It can cause you to have permanent injury. It can cause you to be traumatized because of the fact that everyone knew you were defenseless. You were helpless. You didn't have the heart to fight. So do you have to fight in prison? No, you don't. You don't have to. But what can come from not fighting in prison can be so much worse than the fight itself. And not everybody is willing to pick up a razor. Not everyone's willing to pick up a knife. And the majority of people doing prison time, you do not have to do this. You have to understand there are different levels to prison. You have maxes, mediums, lows. You have different levels, different custodies. You got work camps. You got outside work squads. You got kitchen dorms. You got privileged dorms, honor dorms. Not everyone is going to get thrown into the jungle. That's another misconception. Not everyone is going to be thrown into the madness. If you're at a youth offender prison, the whole fucking place is madness. It doesn't matter. You're going to be in there. You're going to be seeing shit going on. If you're at an adult prison, it just depends where you land in the state of Florida. Not every single one is going to be bad. You might be in a good dorm, but that doesn't mean you're not going to see shit going on the compound. And the best way to handle things, if you have to fight or if you feel something coming, you have to confront it. You have to confront it before it builds into something else. It's almost like an avalanche. It starts off with a snowball. Before you know it, the whole fucking mountain is coming down. So before that snowball starts building and building and building and getting bigger as it rolls down the mountain, confront it and stop it head on. Look, I don't have a problem with you, but if we need to fight to get this over with, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm not on all that knife play shit. I want to go home. I got shit going on inside of the dorm. If we need to handle that, let's handle that like that. If not, I'm good. And that isn't going to work out in every case. It depends on the mentality of the person that you're getting into it with. But the other people inside of the dorm will see that you're really sticking up for yourself. And there are a lot of times where people will take advantage of someone else's weakness and other people in the dorm will call them out for that shit. That's lame, bro. He just said he'll fight you, bro. Why you want to get a knife? You scared to fight the man? And a lot of people honestly are. A lot of people will go and grab a knife before they fight. And it's the same type of people that will go and grab a gun on the street. Oh, I don't fight. I slang iron. No, you don't. No, you don't. You never killed nobody. You grab that because that's how you want to defuse the situation, because you know he doesn't want to shoot you. But he's perfectly fine with fighting. But if you watch this video because you've asked yourself, would I be able to handle prison? Would I have to fight inside of prison? Prison already, it's not meant for you, bro. So do whatever the fuck you gotta do to make sure you don't go there. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with Charlie. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.